Hi everyone, it's Leilani. Welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be working in my reading journal, documenting all the things that I read in the month of August. So I'm actually doing good. I'm not behind this time, so we're only going to be working on 1 month, which sometimes I think the videos are kind of fun when I'm working on multiple months at a time. But for me, it is so much nicer to only have to work on 1 month at a time because there is a lot that goes into these monthly reading journal spreads, just with all the different sized photos I have to print off and all the different little pages. So as I started there, I just already popped down all the books that I read, which is the first thing that I always do, where they're printed off quite small. Then I move on to my favorite book of the month, which was Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I'll get more into the books as we go along. Then we have my bookshelfie. So here I just color in the books depending on the star rating. So we had kind of a mix, nothing too bad. We did have a 2-star, which was a Joanne Fluke. Then we also had a couple 4s, I think, and a couple 5s. I had a kind of smaller reading month. I only read 6 books, but I really liked a lot of these books this month, and I had a lot of fun listening to them or reading them. So that is definitely a win. So here I color in the books, then I'm just going to write in all of the titles, and then this page will be completed. So yeah, it just really does feel so nice to be still keeping track of all my books. I've definitely, I went back actually and I flipped through the 2022 books, and I was definitely reading a little bit more last year, and I wouldn't say that I've fallen off. I've still really been enjoying reading as a hobby, but I think I haven't consistently had those really big, hard-hitting months with just tons of books, but that's okay. I mean, I know I'm only judging myself, but it does feel good to still be documenting them, because I have struggled a bit this year with wanting and reaching for my reading journal and really wanting to document every time. But I will say that whenever I get finished with a month, I do feel really good about it, and I also love being able to look back and see these 2 months or 2 years, excuse me. And I honestly think that the worst part is just the chunkiness of this book. So I absolutely adore this Archer and Olive notebook. It is a beautiful notebook. I love the paper. It is fabulous. But I chunked it up way too much in 2022 with all of the photos that I printed, and now I'm a seasoned reading journal vet here, and I know that sticker paper is the way to go. So that is what I'm using throughout. You'll notice I've printed everything off on sticker paper, and that helps so much. The paper is really thin, so it does not add much bulk. So I super recommend that, and I'll have that link below if you want to see what sticker paper that I am enjoying. But that's definitely a tip that will totally help with the longevity of your book and being able to actually use it. And I'm not saying I don't like a chunky book. I love the chunk. I think everyone loves the chunk, but whenever it gets hard to write in and hard to use, that's whenever the activity just becomes not as fun for me. So that's kind of a challenge and a struggle that I've had over this past year of documenting my reading. But we're going to trudge on. We're going to get this done for this year, and then maybe think of something different to try out for 2024. But just as I've been doing for every month so far, I just stamp out the August stats here at the top, outline it, and then I'll draw my little boxes. I was a little extra wonky with the stamping there this month, but that's okay. We don't judge, we don't discriminate on the wonkiness in my journal. So it is handmade, and we're proud of it. So my first box here is where I will pop in my total number of books, which I found I'm so happy that I added that feature, because last year for some reason each month I did not put the total number. And of course it's really easy to add up the these 3 little boxes, which are my physical reads, my ebook reads, and also my audiobook reads. It's easy to add them up, but I love just at a glance having the total number. I think that's really helpful. So adding that, drawing all my boxes, and then we'll start filling everything in. And then of course we will add in all of the books over to the side that I read this month. So I'll just start kind of chatting about the books a little bit as well as we're just filling in different things here and there on this left side of the page. So this month I did read 6 books, and like I said, I did really enjoy all of the books. Actually, the Joanne Fluke one, now I did give it a 2, so maybe I didn't enjoy it that much. I honestly cannot really remember why it received a 2, so it is, maybe that's why it was very forgettable, perhaps. But of course, they haven't been horrible, but something about that book must have bothered me, and I wish I could remember what it was, because roasting those books is one of my favorite pastimes. But I did only manage to get through one Joanne Fluke book this month. I am still working on the next one this current month during September, but I will have one more read this month. I think I'm down to just 2 more books, so that's why I haven't really been like rolling through them so fast. So I'll probably have the entire collection. I think it's like 23 books of Joanne Fluke, the Hannah Swensen mysteries. I'll have those done by the end of the year, which is nice. And then I guess I'll just keep reading them as long as they keep coming out. And you know, I hope they get better. But now it's kind of just ingrained in me that I have to read these books. I don't know why, but it's there. So besides that one, I did also read a few thrillers. So I've been interested in these thrillers by John Marrs. I've read, I think this was my 3rd one this month, and I read one called Keep It in the Family. And it was interesting and definitely a different sort of story, but I did enjoy it, and I gave it 4 stars. I thought it was good. I really enjoy his writing a lot. The other 2 books that I read in previous months were The One and one other one that of course I can't remember, but they were both more like futuristic kind of vibes, which I really loved, almost like a Black Mirror episode. This one wasn't so much like that, but I still did enjoy it. I'm so sorry about my head, guys. I didn't cut anything out, so I probably should have done that, but I was trying to keep it as long as I could for this video, so I do apologize for my big head being in the way. So, yeah, I gave that one a 4 star. Then we move on to my favorite book of the month, which was Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. Now, I could have sworn that I already read Home Before Dark, but I didn't have it in my Audible library, and so I'm thinking I didn't actually read it, and I didn't remember it at all, so I don't think that I had read that before. Gave it 5 stars. I really loved it. I adore Riley Sager's style of writing. Now, I think my head's really going to be in the way because I totally forgot, but this Lisa Jewell book, I just could not get on straight, so I have to continuously change this, so I'm feeling like a goober right now for not editing this out, so I do... Oh my gosh, this is embarrassing. I do really apologize, guys. We are just on this journey together with my head. Okay, I think I finally got it. I'm so sorry. So, yeah, I love Riley Sager's style of writing, and I love his very, like, over-the-top style of thrillers where there's a lot of times a little horror element. A lot of times it's a little scary, just slightly, though, and I think that's really fun, and I just love, like, the extravagance of it. It's not like a domestic thriller, really, where it's just, like, husband and wife and things like that. It, like, has a very, like, over-the-top value to it, and I really love that. So, Home Before Dark, I thought was really fun, and I was listening to it, and I even like didn't want to listen to that at home by myself in the dark, so I would wait till like Will was home and maybe he was playing a video game or something. I would put the audiobook on and listen to it because it was a little spooky, but I gave it 5 stars, and it was my favorite for the month. Another one that I read was Lisa Jewell's new book, None of This Is True. And I've enjoyed other Lisa Jewell books as well. So I was excited about this one. Oh, I'm showing you that I can't find my little asterisk stamp. I guess it fell at some point. So I hope it shows up and I find it like in my carpet or something because I really loved that little stamp. But anyways, so... yeah, None of This Is True. It was a really good thriller, I thought. It was a new one that just came out maybe this month, and I was excited and like anticipating that read. So I gave it 5 stars. I really did enjoy it. It was a wild ride and it was fun. Then I also read The Housemaid, which was a suggestion of one of my friends, Amanda, and I really loved this one too. It was kind of split up into 2 parts, and I adored. I mean, I just could not wait. I was devouring this book like crazy during part 1, and now part 2 I didn't love as much, and that's why I dropped it down to a 4 star, but the entire thing was a really fun read, and I really did enjoy it overall a ton. The last book that I read this month is this one for the Cozy Mystery Book Club over on my Patreon, and it was called Keepsake Crimes. So this one was also really good. I gave it 3 stars, but that's just because I kind of rate these cozies at a different rating scale. You know, I'm kind of rating them towards each other. And I thought that this one was totally good, totally solid, but it wasn't like my top tier favorite, but I did really enjoy it. I think the reason why is because it's one of those older ones. So just like with Joanne Fluke, Keepsake Crimes started in 2003. I think the Joanne Fluke ones were like in 2000. So there's just a bit of a different vibe whenever something's written like so long ago. So I mean, 20 years ago is a long time. So it just has a bit of a different feel, but I still did enjoy it. It's a scrapbooking mystery. So how fun is that? So that was just like really cute and fun to hear about all the scrapbooking references. They were kind of old school, which in my opinion, made it even better. And it took place in New Orleans, which is one of my favorite places. So that was fun as well. So just like every month, I do a little section back here for my book club, and I do make a really big boo-boo here where I start to stamp out July. I was looking at the previous page, and here I was like, okay, I need a piece of paper. So I went and cut a little slice of paper out of one of my other Archer and Olive notebooks that I have, because I was worried to cut one out of here because I don't have that many pages left, and I don't know how many pages I'll need until the end of the year, so I didn't want to risk it. So I'm just going to pop this little piece over, and it is what it is. You know, you're going to be able to tell a little bit that I flubbed up, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. And we're going to try to stamp correctly this time and stamp out August. So I always print off that book cover at like, I think a little bit over a 3x4, like a 3x4.5 or something. And then on the right side, I always pop in my Cozy Mystery Book Club discussion questions that I put on my Patreon that we go over during our meeting every month. So then I just add in a little bit of extra space here where I typically just write in any additional thoughts about the book, like my own personal thoughts, not so much like questions about the book, like what's on the other side. So so I fill this in here, and then we will be all done with August for the month, which really does feel so good. As far as September goes, we're now almost midway through the month, and I have not had a very good reading month again. Definitely months that, you know, are a little more busy for me. I don't tend to get as many books read, which I'm sure is typical for most people. So these end of the year months, I don't have a ton of faith that I'll get that many books read, but I hope that I'll at least make it to around 6 or so again. So I will definitely be sharing those fairly soon with you guys, and we'll see what all I do manage to accomplish in September. But I did read another Riley Sager book this month, Lock Every Door, which that's one of the ones that I had actually read previously. And I did a reread or a re-listen, and I really liked it. So that was fun too. So that won't be, of course, until September. So that's a little sneak peek of one thing that I've been listening to. But I'm trying to get through all the Riley Sager books. I'm pretty sure I just have like one more left, but I just love them. So that's been really, really fun. So now I just am going to add in a little bit of my journaling here. I think I was having to check the spelling here on a word, which I do a lot. I Google a ton of words. So adding this on, and then I'll give you a quick flip through of all of the pages that we filled in today. So I'm just so glad that I got this done. Like I said before, this is one of those projects that a lot of times I will kind of put on the back burner, and I'll be like, I'll get to it later. And that's why sometimes the months tend to pile up a little bit. But it feels really good to just have it completed. And now I am not behind at all, and I can just start fresh with this new month coming up. So here I'm finishing up my journaling, and then I will show you the flip through. So let me know, how is your reading journal going? How is your reading month going? Did you have a good reading month for August, September? Did you read anything that you super loved? Did you read any of these same books as I read? What are your kind of go-tos? As you can see, for me, I tend to go for the cozy mysteries and the thriller kind of horror section. Those are my favorites. But what's your favorite genre of book book? I would love to know. So here I'll just give you a little bit of a flip through of everything that we filled out today. And there you have it. We are done. Another month documented, which always feels amazing. So I'm super, super happy about that. Here, I just wanted to add on a couple more stickers. It felt like it was a little naked up here at the top, and I have got to, like literally, I have to order more stickers from Pipsticks because I'm almost completely out. But okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you next time. Bye, friends.